Hello there. This is a UFO incident happened in '75, I think it was, by a jockey. You noticed it, a jockey called Peter Leather, on the Epson Downs. If you've never been around there, I should have a pop down. It's absolutely beautiful, really nice, just pleasant. Uh, Quite a few UFO sightings around there over the years. Some reason there's a lot down there, but this one it was clearly seen by this chap. And this chap, Peter Leather, I say, was a jockey. He reported to a thing called UFOing organisation. I don't know who they are. I think there was like a UFO organisations in '70s. I think there were a lot more in them days. So shame there's not none today. Uh, I wish there was, and I probably joined one. But anyway, I think it's called UFOing, and he spoke to them. Whether what interview they did with about this, I don't know. But the story, they normally, what I understand, do generally put up quite nice stories in. You have seen one or two. I think I'm saying that UFO organisation stories over the many years, and they all seem quite good. And no reason to think this one isn't. But I personally think it's true because what he describes. Um, and it's sort of thing a jockey or anybody else, you wouldn't come up with this story. You just wouldn't. Anyway, you make up your mind. I think it's a good story. I genuinely do. Hope you like it. So it's a jockey, Peter Epson, and he was middle of the morning, just before it got totally light, about 6, 7 o'clock. He's out on his horse, training as always on the Epsom Downs, and beautiful. And then he saw a bright light, but not too far away, just over the trees. So he's on the race course there, and it's just there. And as he's galloping over, it sort of stops still, and again, what I think it's true. He's described it being yellow, yeah, and that's the same thing. It seems to have a path, um, yellowish colour. And also, he describes as he got closer to it, it was emitting like a blue haze. And I've heard this before also, like a blue haze, but the yellow had intermittent flash. It says he described it like, do you know you have a drill and you switch it on, you see a flash of sometimes coming out of it. He described it like that. So you imagine you're drilling flash, and he says that was the same. It was just intermittent, always yellow, but intermittent with the flashing getting brighter like that. But the A's underneath it, what it generated, seemed to be constant. But as the craft lowered to more close to the floor, the A's became more denser, and he said the flashing, um, yellowing flashing, was intermittent about 5 seconds. He said it became much faster as it got lower to the floor. Whether it was losing its gravity, I don't know. But anyway, as he got closer and closer, galloping up to it, he noticed the blue haze underneath the craft, because he's seen it quite some time. He's there standing on his horse, sat on his horse. He's not a gymnast. He sat on his horse looking at it, and the horse was calm, but the race horses always are calm. And he's there looking at this underneath the craft, and he noticed there was a bright light under the blue haze under the craft, because as it's got lower and lower, the blue haze has got denser, and then he's staring at it. Then, as he's staring into this bright light, what you could see under it, he could see like a human figure. He didn't describe it being any scaly skin or anything like that. He just saw it being a human shaped figure. He didn't even describe the size of it, or he probably didn't stare at it long enough to see the size or anything. He just turned around, on his horse and headed out as fast as he could. And as he got to the edge of the road, he looked back, he slowly looked back to see if it's there, but the craft was still there in the same, exactly the same spot, but the humanoid figure and the blue haze under the craft had gone. He sort of slowed down before he got to the road and just turned around and had a really good look, and that had all gone except the craft was still there, and the flashing, because the craft had lifted up slightly, was intermittent every 5 seconds. He thinks again like a flash, just a flash, and every time it flashed, the yellow were a bit more yellowy and glowier. So he went like that, but he said it was silent though. He didn't hear anything, and the person what was underneath the craft never made a murmur. And the thing what we holding, he didn't get to see what it was. He just saw whatever he had in his hand was very bright. So he turned around and scarpered off, which any person would, wouldn't we? Really, just go up and say, "What's that you got in your hand?" You know, maybe some probably would like to. I'll sort you out. but yeah, it's a good story. I like it because it's one of those you wouldn't make up. He's not the person who did it. He's never made any more stories up. He's never done it for attention, and that's so. Why would he do it this time? He's a jockey. He don't need this publicity. Yeah, so I love it. I love the idea that the yellowy glow, and it gives more details on the intermittent flashing of it, and you can see. And he described how as it got close to the ground, it sort of flashed more, and the blue haze. Maybe the blue haze was something to the alien figure coming out, enabled him. I don't know what the guy alien figure had in his hand. That would be interesting to know. But we may do one day. Maybe another story around there. Probably put more of a light onto it. But I hope you like the story. I've one of my favourites. I do like it. I genuinely do. I believe every word about it. If I'm honest, I do. Nobody would make this story up. You feel daft if it wasn't. So, and you'd have to tell it just because you think, well, the effects need to know. That's why I believe it. Yes. Yeah, I do, 100%. I hope you do. I hope you enjoyed that one. Anyway, but it was at Epson Downs in 1975. Wasn't in the newspaper, I say, but not all are. That's why it's not popular. This one, it's just not out there. That's why I thought I'd mention it. But I enjoy it. I can see it, can't you? Chap galloping on his horse, and you think, and he's had to go that way because to get out of the field, so he's had no choice, unfortunately, the poor chap, to actually go up and go round from it. But yeah, I love it. Anyway, God bless. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye bye.